Chill. Yo. Let me slide in the bins with the fished out fins. Hit the mall with my girlfriend and shout ends. Cause you know it ain't tricking if you got it. Cop baby girl what she desires. Chunk change mama. Everything dropping the remix of a classic. And everything I do just that, bitch. Habits. Or run around staying fast, bitch. GSH cowboy. Yeehaw rap, bitch. Ain't no fun when that nigga got the gun. Cause that nigga going dumb. Put up a pum. Little drummer boy, I been that before. Right? Had to come back to the court, shoot up and start a cap. Y'all the niggas that started cap. Me, I'm just a nigga from the 90s where the Olympics at. ATL nigga, Decatur really. Nigga talking shit, nigga, but I been a bit. Go, G-O-A-T. And it ain't a discussion to be had. It's a catalog of music to be released. 2023, C.O.D.
And this bitch in the Diddy Bop. It's your boy, P. Henry Trotter, a.k.a. Home Run Trot, a.k.a. Chef P, a.k.a. Sneeze, a.k.a. Frederick _Thugless. Please say the underscore. A.k.a. Casino P, a.k.a. your grandma's favorite house guest because that boy got manners. And I'm riding with my motherfucking player partner,
C.O.D. Decatur Boy Music, aka C.O.3 Season 3 Decatur Boy Music, aka Fifth of Five, aka boy, aka Big Tabby Tabula Rasa, cause I do be philosophizing and niggas be hating cause I be making them realizing that they assholes. Shouts out to me. What up, P?
What it do, man? What it do? Back in the booth.
Man. It's it don't do nothing without a little bit of motion from your boy. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like in the most make anybody who hear it uncomfortable way possible. If I don't experience it, it don't exist. So the world revolve around me. So however you feel about this, if I don't read or hear your comment in my lifetime, it did not exist. So I'm the center of the universe, man. And it's moving around me like waves as I take this perspective, man. How you feel about it? Insanity or sanity?
It is I feel like it is 8 billion plus perspectives going on and ain't none of them wrong. And so however you look at this thing, however you perceive your existence is how your existence exists. And how
it's funny you say that, bro, because I got to arguing with an atheist. Well, he got to arguing, and my response made him angry. He's telling me there is no God and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I just had nothing to say. And then he was like, oh, you got no comeback? And I was like, I believe that whatever you believe happens when you die. He was like, what? I said, I believe that whatever you believe in your lifetime is what happens when you die. So, good luck with all that nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then the nigga got furious. He said, aren't y'all supposed to recruit? Da-da-da-da. I said,
who is y'all?
Like, are you assuming my religion? You know what I'm saying? Can't assume a motherfucker gender, but you could assume my religion and how I practice it. You don't know what I believe. You just know that I believe that whatever I believe is going to happen when I die, and whatever you believe is going to happen when you die. That's what I believe. Don't worry about what I believe, but that is what I believe wholeheartedly. Because energy is neither created nor destroyed. If you believe that after your consciousness inhabits this clay, your energy dies and is nothingness, then nothing will inhabit or utilize that energy, and it will become stars or some other shit. Something will use that energy because it cannot be created nor destroyed, but your command over it can be relinquished if you say so. That's what I believe. Like, if you dead ass set on relinquishing your command over the energy the universe has gifted you, and you believe that wholeheartedly, I believe they'll let you let it go. If this shit a video game and you want to sit that controller down, you believe that once you sit it down, you never get to play any other game, I believe you are right. Universe can't force you to pick this motherfucker up and keep playing.
There's a philosopher that says, whatever you believe, you are right. Like, whether you believe you can or you can't, you are right.
Hey,
and
it's beauty in the simplicity of that, man, because it's not that complicated.
It's not, man. And what we always say, kids, keep it simple, stupid.
Straight up. But yeah, that made them very angry. And I was like, hey, man, most people hate Christians because they're trying to convince them that they right.
And you mad.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you assume I'm Christian and mad that I ain't giving you a good old fighty-o.
It's like somebody who's heterosexual and like they mad because gay dudes won't hit on them. It's like you ain't even on this team.
Straight up. Straight up. Like, and for me, it's real simple. Like, bruh, the equal and opposite of your disbelief won't be me wasting my faith on you. That ain't how that energy gonna be transferred. Like, if there's something to balance out the things you've experienced in your life that led you to where you are, me wasting my time ain't a part of the journey. I promise you that. Maybe my testimony through these podcasts and different stories and allegories and shit like that'll guide you, but a direct effort from your boy, I don't see that in the cards for you. But yeah, man, can I pop out the fliggity? I can't find my lighter. Hold up. I can't find my lighter. Hold up. I can't find my lighter. Hold up. I can't find my papers. Get them plus and we gon' roll up. Hold up. I just got some sticky. Hold up. I just want the blicky. Hold up. I'm about to go back to back and I fuck 2 little bitches. Hold up. I just got that. Hey, I can't find my lighter. I just think my smoking partner stole it. He on fire. Hold up. I can't find my. Hold up. Hey, my bad. It hit. So I went with it.
Hey, always got to go with the feeling, man. Always got to go with the feeling. Whenever that's also something that is hold your thought real quick. Sorry to cut you off. That is something that I have learned through a lot of reading over the past few months, is that whenever inspiration hits you, do not deny inspiration when it hits you. Write it down, get it out, because that is the divine talking. Like, we don't come up with the things that we create. It is a download. And if something happens in the world that you wanted to put into the world, it wasn't somebody who stole your idea. It was an idea that's supposed to be in the world. And whether it's you, the play don't care who make it, whether it's you or it's the next person, that is going to happen. And so whenever it hits you, get it out. So before the show happened tonight, for the people, I want y'all to know I was late 15 minutes. Instead of my dog not doing shit and just waiting on me, my dog did something else. And yeah, y'all got that. And it's always a gift and it's always a present for me. And so I was where I was supposed to be at, because without me interfering in that don't happen. So instead, I ain't even upset I was late. I showed up late and I got something better than if I would have been here. So things happen in that time. And when you get that divine download, be in that moment, put it into create when you get that download, because something else is going to hit you later on, but it ain't going to be that thing that hit you right then. But go ahead, man. Get on that fliggity. Oh.
But yeah, man, this week's flight deck is about maturation. You feel me? And we all go through different points and periods in our life and shit like that. And I've hit that point in life where I genuinely don't give a fuck about nobody's relationship or dating habits but my own. So you heard it here first. On what date is it, P?
It is February 7th, 2023.
C.O.D, the K.O.W.boy music, don't give a fuck about your dating habits. And I might have an opinion, but an opinion just like an asshole. Everybody got one and they all stink. Mine's included, but yours especially. I had a nigga tell me that's a cliche. He hear it all the time. And I said, dawg, a cliche is an overused opinion. How could a colloquialism about opinions be a cliche? And two, ain't no way in hell you hear that all the time unless you super country and give ass opinions. You know what I'm saying? So you might want to reevaluate your asshole and take a shower, if you know what I mean. But anyway, said all that to say this. Fuck y'all relationships, bro. And fuck how y'all feel about me and mine. And that's including for the future. If y'all catch me with a bitch who's an entertainer and her fan base, come back to this podcast and refer to this to figure out how I feel about your opinion. I don't give a fuck. You feel me? The conversation around passport bros, all that shit. I don't give a fuck. I got funny shit to say about it. And if we discuss any of it, know that all of that come from me going for the yuck yucks. I'm here for the laughs, and I don't give a fuck about how y'all feel about it. Straight up. What's your thoughts, bro?
I don't care about nobody related. I got too much going on in my own life to care
I
about.
genuinely just don't care about nobody else's relationship, bro.
Yeah. Hey, I never have.
But the funny thing in all of this journey that this led me to is women who are what men desire speaking up about women arguing at niggas about what their preference is and being like, you can't live your life for a decade selfishly and then get to be 35 and tell niggas what they want because you want to be married now. You know what I'm saying? And women do not want to hear that shit. But like, I genuinely do not give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about men or women. I don't care about these niggas leaving the country to find their wife. I don't care about the women who mad at them niggas. Like, I say this though. The funniest thing about that passport bro shit is I think they'd be a lot less angry if other people were getting their passports and coming here to marry them. But it's a reason that's not happening.
I don't know. What is a passport, bro? I haven't heard that term.
It's these niggas going overseas to find their wives and date women and shit. Because they sick of the customs of American women, supposedly. So they're going overseas to find traditional women.
Interesting.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
It's not a movement led by anybody who has a presence I would follow.
I thought it was when you said it, I was like, oh, his brother's getting together, traveling together. That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? I was raised to believe that any nigga casting good bait could fish in any pond he want to. That's what I was ready to believe. So I ain't know this or know that. I'm simply working on me. You feel what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I ain't looking for a wife. I'm making sure that I am developing myself into a husband. You feel what I'm saying? Like I ain't on none of that shit. Like that, I don't give a fuck about what nobody on, cuz I got a lot more patience with how I approach life than to be trying to scapegoat how I find my other half. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think he hit my other half in Brazil and made all the women on this continent difficult to deal with. And I just had to get sick of it and go to Brazil to find my partner. I don't think that's how life works. I think that's some sucker shit.
Yeah. I ain't even gonna expound on it. Cause I just don't have any. That's how cats want to live they life. If that's what float they boat, find their
I don't
lost
think
remote.
where you slid out of a vagina is the biggest impact on who you become. I think your maturation process is. And if you're looking for a certain type of woman, that's fine. And if you believe that there's a higher density of that type of woman somewhere, you going there is simply logical. But I genuinely don't give a fuck. It's just like the afterlife. If you believe that's where your wife at, that's where she is, because that's the only place you're gonna accept a mate from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for the women who mad about it and comment on it, look at it like getting your period. Like, if you're not a passport bro, you shouldn't have an opinion on being a passport bro. You gotta respond to that. Don't be trying to pee me. You gotta respond to that. We back at the show. I'm this crazy. You thought it changed? This season 3, but I'm still me.
That's a fair point. That is
people with penises, bruh. Them the only ones you criticize.
I disagree, but
is there any preponderance of men telling women what their set of preferences should be?
Yeah, absolutely.
How so?
But I mean, you take the rights away from a woman for her reproductive. Like, you definitely if you change policy to take the rights away from a woman, you definitely care about how she live her life.
What?
And if you are a passport bro and you go, you have feelings about it. How people going about it is different. Passport bros don't like American women and how they behave. So they going somewhere else to find women who adhere to what they perceive as a traditional woman.
Older customs.
Yeah, so it's
how the legislation tie in though. That ain't everyday men making that legislation. We don't send billions to Ukraine and shit like that. You can't blame everyday niggas for that. Everyday culture is having this conversation on men and what they should want and what they should value and this and that.
I disagree. I feel like it's a lot of people not having that conversation. And
what
we hear is you get to hear the polar, like the loudspeaker is echo most at the extremes. So you don't hear nobody that's in the middle. You hear the people on the sides, and I feel like those views are amplified because they are polarizing, especially in the internet. Like, I feel like I don't think it's a conspiracy that like the algorithm finds the people who are on one side or the other, and because I have 2 Twitter handles. One of those Twitter handles, I follow people who are in mostly Black Twitter and a bunch of like who have everybody has an opinion. And on my other Twitter handle, it's like legit only I follow people who write, people who are in like business, and I follow like companies who talk about like music business, who talk about like how to create systems for bit. Like, it's mostly centered around business. And I don't get none of that shit on that second Twitter handle. On that first Twitter handle, I get nothing but fucking opinions, and mostly terrible fucking opinions. Like, only the people who I get who have reasonable opinions are the people that I follow, but it's people who I don't even know, who aren't even attached to the people I know, and somehow they're finding it because that's the thing that's being amplified. Somebody's terrible opinion is the one that people are going to find, and they're going, y'all see this shit, and then everybody's going to comment on it. And so that's what you're always going to hear. Like, you're always going to hear one side or the other on the polar side. You're not going to find the people in the middle, but the people in the middle are going to find the people on the outside, and the people in the middle are going to be like, damn, that is kind of crazy if it's opposite of what they believe. So
I cannot debate your point in the larger abstract, but in the minute, in the micro, on a basic, just like these two examples, there is a huge debate around whether or not body count should matter. The only people who that would matter to are men. It has never been a thing where women cared about a man's body count. So the whole conversation around whether or not it should matter is culture having a conversation about men's preferences. Women looking to men as a provider cannot be a cultural conversation men have and tell women that's something that shouldn't be on their priority list anymore. That's what I mean by the example of determining the priority list, even down to what men are attracted to and what it's okay to find sexy. That shit has always been a conversation we have openly. But don't nobody tell women what their preference is and what they should like and not like. That ain't something men can do. And I ain't saying they should. I'm just saying neither gender should be trying to do that, or not. No matter how you identify, you shouldn't be able to tell customers what they shopping for in the industry or area of life is what I'm saying. You shouldn't be able to tell customers what they shopping for and make it immoral to not be shopping for what you have turned into as a product. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
Like, I've been listening to listening to a lot of comedy on YouTube. So like Hannibal Buress,
you got old as fuck when you said that.
Taylor Tomlinson.
Might have well said I was reading some news on the internet.
Oh, I can't talk about listening to comedy on YouTube. Is that old cat shit?
I guess it's okay to say the platform you consumed it on, but that just was wild. I was consuming some comedy, a crazy ass statement in and of itself to be like, yeah, I was partaking in some hip hop.
I was consuming some comedy.
Clifford Harris, Ty Epps.
Yeah. All right, I can. Yeah.
Guilty. Andre Benjamin.
But it's a lot of cats who it's a lot of the comedians that I've been consuming. They are talking about relationships and like how crazy like the game is right now. And like they comment on like the different apps and stuff and like things that are available now that, you know, I like ones I have and haven't heard of. And dog, it's hilarious at the content and like the observations that they making about the current dating pool and dating game. And like they'll see somebody in the crowd who married, they be like, man, how long y'all been together? Such and such. Like I saw one example and the couple was like 6 years or something like that. And they had been together they had been married, they dated for like 2 years and like been married for like 4 years or some shit like that. Like, man, hey, do what you gotta do to make that shit work. Cause like, and then they'll give a story of, you know, I met this girl, I met this guy, like one dude, his name is something Fife. I forget his first name. White guy.
Makai.
Nah, he ain't.
Hell nah.
He's a white dude. And he same what the damn thing. Saint, get up. Okay. Don't lay back down on that cord, please. And he was like, yeah, man, I was on Tinder and like invited this chick over, and like we was sitting and we was chilling at the crib, and she was like, "You got a Ouija board?" And I was like, "What? A Ouija board?" And he's like, "No, I do not have a Ouija board." And he's like, "Sir, you know what a Ouija board is?" And the dude was like, "Nah." He's like, "First of all, you're doing great in life if you don't know what a Ouija board is." And then he like went on to explain it. And then he was like, "Man, this chick said, oh, you don't have a Ouija board? Oh, well, let's make one." And he was like, "You came over here for a Tinder date and you trying to make me," but so said all that to say, yeah, it sounds like it's wild out here. Not envious of you guys, but I'm sure it's an adventure. And that's what life is all about. Experience, adventure.
The one thing I know, I had somebody tell me when I was young, if she smokes, she pokes. And funny enough, they never lied to me. But anyway, if she communicate with the dead, she probably got some crazy head.
That's what he said. He was like, "Oh, this is," and he's like, I went through it because he was like, "This gotta be fire. Like, she over here trying to talk to dead people. And this the first time we've met. Oh, this about to be live. Like, we going all the way."
Telling you, that sacred energy exchange gonna make you see spirits. You hear me? No alcohol.
Can I do you a favor?
Riri, could you give me some headlines?
I'm gonna give you some headlines, but I am going to choose them joints for you, and we gonna talk about that topic because it's things going on, and I'm trying to talk about them.
Heard.
So from our good friends over at Sports Illustrated, shouts out. Always been a fan since I was a young man. The Nets, they have an owner. His name is Josiah. I'll read the headline. It says, Nets owner reportedly refused to trade Kyrie Irving to the Lakers. Nets owner reportedly refused to trade Kyrie Irving to the Lakers. And if you've been keeping up with NBA things, the association, you would know that Kyrie Irving, our brother, requested a trade a few days ago. And when he requested that trade, we're getting close to the NBA trade deadline if we haven't already passed it. And good brother Kyrie requested that trade from his current team, the Brooklyn Nets. I almost call them New Jersey Nets. And Josiah, their owner, was petty and would not allow him to be traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. And he traded him to the Dallas Mavericks, where he gets to play with a rising star in Luka Doncic. And he'll very likely get the full extension that he wants in that 4-year max. Talk to me. What you think? I'm glad we're on this topic because I have some thoughts. So I want to hear your thoughts about this situation.
Why? Second coming of Kawhi. Why? They sent that man to Canada, and then why? Smacked everybody in the conference, then went right out to LA and got the contract he wanted. And then played the next 3 seasons. Ain't nobody said shit about Kawhi. I'm sick of people talking about goddamn Kyrie like he crazy. When to this point, he had played 133 games for the Nets. And to this point, Kevin Durant has played 128 games for the Nets. Shut the fuck up talking about being reliable. With COVID, with the suspension this year, he still had played more games. He didn't play almost all of last year. So get that Kevin Durant was hurt the first year shit out of my fucking face. He had been more reliable for your franchise than Kevin Durant. You ain't gonna explain not paying that man. And then to do him like Popovich did Kawhi only says you are going to get what you were trying to avoid. Whatever the fuck the saying is.
Yeah.
This is a cliche.
you say that one all the time. It's like you're fighting against the thing. You're fighting against the thing so hard.
You meet your destiny on the road you took to avoid it.
Yeah.
Like that nigga about to go win a chip. You sent him to a nigga who is LeBron at the stage of his career he won with LeBron. That's what Luka is. A ball dominant, all-time passer who can get his shot from anywhere on the floor. And now he can't be double teamed in the clutch. Sound familiar? They got shooters, and the only nigga you got was a nigga who you let go in 2018, Dorian Finney-Smith. He was on the Nets. The owner of the Nets just cut his nose off to spite his face. They wouldn't pay that nigga the money he getting right now. That's the only reason he not on the Nets. You just traded that nigga for Kyrie Irving. Think about that shit. The only reason he not on the Nets is because he getting the money he about to get from the Nets right now. And you gave up Kyrie for him instead of sending them to the Lakers. That nigga stupid as fuck.
Yeah. When I saw it, I thought that
it'd be like the Lakers trading Kyrie Irving for Shannon Brown and future picks. And you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That should be done. Kobe will fight them niggas, bro.
I feel like
imagine they traded Shaq for fucking Bynum. We like, you bringing Bynum back or Kwame back? Oh, I almost spoke with Kwame. So, never mind.
So the Nets got they got DFS and they got Spencer Dinwiddie. And
that's who it is. Dinwiddie was the nigga who was on the Nets.
Yeah, Spencer Dinwiddie.
Who I caught
Dorian Finney-Smith.
Yeah, shouts out to him. He good. He good at basketball. And so is Dinwiddie. I'm just saying the Nets is stupid.
Yeah.
Dinwiddie cool.
I think that it's just interesting to me because, like, we know Kyrie can play. Whenever we talk about Kyrie and Bron together, I think of that the meme I saw over and over again. Like, whenever there's two fine women in the picture together, they always put that LeBron on one side, Kyrie on the other side. That 41-41 game they had. And like now, I think that's what's going to happen for Dallas. They need probably one more big. Just on the.
Did you see Jay Will and Stephen A. Smith get into it about this shit?
Nah, I did not.
Dead ass? You want a sample of it?
Yeah.
Boy.
They was on First Take.
Gay.
Closing costs. We Buy Ugly Houses can buy your house fast.
Here's the problem with Kyrie Irving. You don't show up to work because there's always something that distracts him from showing up to work consistently. That is the issue with the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets is not, what headlines you create? Please, you can deal with all of that. It's Brooklyn, New York. It's available for Kevin Durant.
Protector on the same outlet.
The New York Daily News?
No, but
that's not going to happen.
We put a different kind of onus on our athletes than we do, and you made mention of that on your podcast.
I don't deny that.
Wait, so first off, I'm not the one.
I don't deny that.
I'm being sensitive.
I don't deny that.
But you're the one that seemed very emotional.
Oh my God.
And the subject matter, Stephen A.
Go ahead, Jay.
Come on, man.
Go ahead, Jay.
Come on, man.
Go ahead, Jay.
I'm not sitting up here on national TV absolving Kyrie Irving of every decision. I'm not going back and recounting every decision. I'm just saying how it's interesting to me. It just carries such a bigger momentum, in particular with you, more so than anybody else.
Jay, you know what? What I would ask you is do me a favor. Stop telling us what you find interesting and just tell us what you feel.
This is where it seems we reach a tipping point in the pair's dynamic.
No, my job is to be interesting.
You say, I find it interesting. You always say that. Say what you're saying. What are you saying?
What did I just say?
What are you saying?
What am I saying? I just said what I'm saying, Stephen A.
Which is?
And I'm not allowed to say what I find interesting.
Of course you are.
But like once again,
I invite you on the show to say what's interesting.
He thinks you're too preoccupied with Kyrie, too hard on Kyrie.
Did I mention Kyrie Irving last week before he demanded a trade? We were talking football. How many times have I mentioned Kyrie Irving over the last few
I
weeks?
don't seem to be the one being triggered right now.
Well, I'm always triggered.
No, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you are not.
Okay.
That shit fire, ain't it?
Oh man,
He
that's
said,
funny.
no, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Like, bro, the fact that he was calm, he won. Like, that's good television. How you feel about how the debate around Kyrie Irving is going? I do care about this for the people listening. I don't care about that other thing, but I do care about the.
How do I one, I haven't heard much of the debate outside of TWS Trill Withers show, and and
Shouts out
listen
to the homie.
Yeah, shout out to the homie Trill.
And I'm not here to argue.
Yeah.
And Legends Live and Underdog Fantasy. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? The whole game.
The whole game.
Steve Smith.
Cut to it. Yeah. Shout out to Steve Smith.
Shit, Cam Newton be doing this shit too. Shout out to Cam Newton. And Sunday service, Sunday conversation.
I'm not familiar with that platform. But yeah,
man, shouts out to my nigga, man.
The thing about,
make sure you write it in history. If niggas start cutting the top out of their hats, you can trace that back to my dog.
The thing about the Kyrie debate is we choose people to debate about who are polarized, and so we debate about LeBron, like we debate, like, because nobody really debates about Steph Curry, because he just kind of he there, he really good at what he do, but he just there, and the debate around Kyrie is you got people in one camp and you got people in the other camp, like it's you feel one way or the other. It's kind of like debating Kanye for the most part. Like you got you in one camp or you in the other camp. And so the debate around Kyrie is they like to throw everything. When you're talking about a guy doing his job, they like to throw a whole bunch of other things in there besides when he shows up to work. And like they talk, like Stephen A, like he mentioned the same thing that you mentioned before we even got into this debate, was he talked about Kyrie not showing up for work. Like he can't demand to go somewhere else to work because he didn't show up to this job.
I forgot this shit set up in a view where you could see me the whole time. It looked like I ain't paying attention at all. I am though. And it looked like the way, like he didn't mention Kevin Durant playing less games, you know what I'm saying? Like he omits some of the facts. But I don't I listened to TWS talk about it, and they talked about it from it was strictly basketball. Like, does this make basketball sense? And it makes basketball sense. They's like, this Kyrie can play off the ball. Like, it's two guys that can be ball dominant, and then are ball dominant. But we've seen Kyrie win a championship not being ball dominant and playing off the ball. And Luka is European, so they grow up sharing the ball. So him being ball dominant is a result of him being the only real scoring option on his team, and they just better off with the ball in his hands. If you look at Porzingis shots per game, it says that Kyrie Irving will have enough time to do what he need to do. It's that simple. And the notion that, bruh, Luka can play off ball and move without the ball.
Absolutely.
And he all about change of speed and the gravity of how he play. If Kyrie will take some of the burden off of him in the front of the game, and Luka could be energetic finishing games, plus have Kyrie Irving and they not be able to double him at the end of this shit in closing moments, bruh. If he plays more games than Kyrie Irving plays in the time they play together, they will be more successful than the Nets were.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like I believe the Nets would have been more successful.
I talked about this with some homies in a text thread, and
people forget Kyrie sat out the bubble by choice. KD was out by injury.
Yeah.
Kyrie a problem, but the other guy not playing either. But go ahead, my bad.
We talked about how this is a better fit for Kyrie as a personality. One, ain't nobody in Texas trying to get jabbed with no damn vaccine, so he fit right the fuck in coming here. He is also has the coverage of an owner who take those shots. Like Joe Tsai is a very quiet owner. You're not finna get them shots off at Kyrie and Mark Cuban not step in. Like if it comes to a battle of social media, Mark Cuban winning that.
He'll go on Skip's show and argue about his player.
And he'll go to bat for his guys. Like we saw how he was with Delonte West. Like he goes to bat for his guys. He's a player's owner. And this is my team.
He bought the Mavericks as the first thing he would do. It was his dream to do that. He got wealthy and then did what he wanted to do as a young kid. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for him, it ain't just like a little money play. It's his dreams coming true. And he treated like that.
And that's the thing.
And he loved Luka like he loved Dirk. If Luka ever leave, I don't give a fuck if he never win the chip. If Luka leave, he a lunatic. Because Mark can make sure he a billionaire in salary alone by the time he leave.
But I think that's also why I don't see Kyrie leaving Dallas. Like I think he gonna get there, and he got 30 games to see what this look like. We're playing with this 23, 24-year-old, and Luka's like being in a state that he's always been.
Biggest population.
He's always been in the Northeast, essentially. Like, so Cleveland, I guess, is Midwest, but East. And then he's been in Eastern Boston. And then he's always been in like the Eastern time zone. So getting to play in the Central time zone, being in a state that considers itself a country and it's do what the fuck you want to because you're an American, I feel like he'll thrive in that environment. And I feel like
the Republic of Texas.
Yeah, like I feel like the people in Dallas will embrace Kyrie and his personality because they'll see it's relatable to them. So I at the risk of being overly optimistic, I think this shit gonna end up working. Like I definitely think it's gonna end up working out well. Especially from it works from a basketball standpoint. It works from
and that's what might hurt him, seeing what that check looked like with no state income.
With no state income
coming from New York, going to Texas. Is he gonna choose LA state income tax?
Bro, you get to keep an extra almost 10% of your money coming here.
This is no state income tax when you making $325,000 a game. You know what I'm saying? Not a year, a game.
Like, bro, you get to keep an extra 30. You get to keep an extra 30 some racks per work night. Like for 30 games. 30 games. What's 30 times 30? Like you get to keep that bread over. Bruh. You get to keep almost another $1 million of your money over the next. What?
Because Joe Tsai refused to trade you where you wanted to go.
So now you get to see. Yeah, now you get to see something else. Like, and that's the thing.
Woe is Kyrie.
Woe is Kyrie. Like you really hurting. You're really hurting.
You refused to pay him and gave him a $1 million bonus by not giving him what he want. Cut his nose off the spite of his face. I told you, bro. And imagine if he stayed there and then signed a $200 million contract, 4 year, $50 million a year.
this is gonna be the thing that really hurt him. Kyrie and Luka definitely went in the ship before Josiah led organization does. Like Mark Cuban definitely went in another one before Josiah do. Like
Can I tell you something that made me angry since we talking hoop?
Yeah.
Why ain't nobody realized that everybody who ever played with Russell Westbrook averaged the most points they ever averaged in their career? Paul George, most points he ever scored in his career MVP conversation, Oklahoma City Thunder before he fucked up his shoulders. Kevin Durant, most points he ever averaged in his career, Oklahoma City Thunder with Russell Westbrook. When was Bradley Beal in the conversation for scoring champ and got the race all the way down to the last game of the season with Steph? When he was playing with Russell Westbrook. When did James Harden win the score? Russell Westbrook.
He was at Houston.
Who's shining right now and about to win his first MVP? Joel Embiid. I don't know why I said Joel Embiid. He playing with James Harden. I'm tripping. But Russell Westbrook. Who was about to win the scoring title until he decided to sit out last year? LeBron James. Who averaging more than 30 a game after turning 38? LeBron James. Bro, Russell Westbrook is amazing at what the fuck he do. And he has only gotten better and better at what he do. And to be in the first environment that can be a championship team that he's been in since Kevin Durant left, I'm sick of him being scapegoated. And I thank God he wasn't traded. Because if Anthony Davis simply play fucking basketball, Russell Westbrook is going to have an amazing playoffs. And you heard it here first. Russell Westbrook is a GAWD point guard. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. He is too underappreciated to be as good as he is at making the people around him better, bro. Yes, he shot too much when he had KD. Ain't no way around it. He shot way too fucking much. He still made KD the best KD has ever been. He's more efficient than he's ever been playing with Kyrie because of the coverage Kyrie get.
Yeah.
Without Kyrie, just like without great wide receivers and a good quarterback, and you could put 8 in the box on a good running back, coverage is going to look a lot different. And he great, so he going to get off, but we'll see what that efficiency look like with 30 games, no Kyrie, if he come back and hoop.
That's a great segue. Can I give you some head? Oh, my goodness.
And he the shredder, so you know, he the villain I always hope he would be. I hope that nigga make the finals and play the Mavericks. That's how much I love KD as the villain. For everybody who think I'm a KD hater, please know that I love watching this nigga hoop. I'm probably a bigger KD fan than you. I just don't want to see him win the chip. But Pete.
Yes, sir.
Could you do me a favor?
What you want me to do for you?
Could you give me another headline?
I can do that.
Yeah,
I most certainly can. So this next one comes from, I went looking for articles.
Did you find them?
I did find them. I found what I was looking for because I wanted to know something that there was some information that I wanted to know what the association with one thing would do for some other thing. And I found what I was looking for. Everybody else wanted to tell me about, tell me what I already knew. I didn't want to know what I already knew. I wanted to know what I wanted to know, and I wanted some motherfucking insight. So shout out to digiday.com and the creator economy marketing section of their platform. So the headline is, what beauty brand Fenty can gain from Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime show. And this is what the fuck I was looking for. I don't give a fuck about, like, she don't get paid for that, but I stand like, if this woman held out for I think it's been 6 years, 7 years since her last album.
I was good on my own. That's the way it was. You were good on the low for a fatty fuck. I ain't expect you to keep leaving space. I expect you to start back talking.
Yeah. Oh, but
baby,
for her to come back to perform at the Super Bowl, and like people, like the speculation is it gonna be no music? The big game, excuse me. Her to come back, perform at halftime of the big game.
Let's call it the footy ball.
The footy ball. The footy ball.
Instead of calling it the big game, let's call it the footy ball.
Okay.
It's the footy ball.
The footy ball. Her to come back after having her child.
Nah, how about this? At the Rihanna show. Fuck them.
The Rihanna
this
show.
Sunday at the Rihanna show.
It's the Rihanna show. Everything is around that.
She got more fans than the Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs do. I promise you that.
Hey, bro. Hey, and they talking about the people that she bringing, like, they've been polling folks, and like they've been pulling information like off the interwebs on like people been polling, what are you most excited about the game? And motherfuckers is like Rihanna. So Gen Z,
the broadcast scope for this is going to have to be World Cup level.
Yeah.
As far as the countries and people who are going to want to see it. It's going to be World Cup level, the distribution of a halftime show. So the game viewership about to be crazy. Because niggas going to watch them whole 2 hours and not miss them 30 minutes.
Apple, Apple is sponsoring the halftime show this year. It's usually Pepsi, but this year it's Apple. And
it's finna holograms and all kind of shit in this shit.
Bruh.
I wouldn't be surprised if she don't perform with Tupac. Eminem, Jay-Z, this shit about to be crazy. He on 2 of her #1 records. You know Eminem gonna be there.
He on 2 of her #1 records.
Love the Way You Lie and Friends with the Monster that's under my bed.
That's right.
I'm Rihanna Navy, nigga. I'm in there though.
That's right. I forgot about that joint.
Yeah. Shouts out to the Hive in them, but I'm definitely Rihanna Navy over here. And you don't have to choose. And I didn't choose. I'm just a part of one camp. And I'm gonna leave it at that. You the one. What's your favorite Riri song?
Ooh. I can't get past that damn. When that beat come in on that bitch better have my money.
Oh damn.
Bitch better have my money.
What's your favorite album?
This last one, it had so much on it.
The last one?
The last one was that not Bitch Better Have My Money? What was the last one?
Shit. Don't get me the line.
Yeah. I wanted to say Loud, but it's not Loud.
It's not Loud. It's not Talk That Talk. Talk That Talk is my favorite album. I started focusing on which one was my favorite album. And I was trying to choose between A Girl Like Me, Good Girl Gone Bad, and Talk That Talk. They're my favorite 3. What was the most recent? Now I can't put them in order. Rated. Okay, so A Girl Like Me. Good Girl Gone Bad. Talk That Talk. Rated R. Loud. No, Loud is before Rated R.
Loud is before. No, Loud is it's Rated R, Loud.
Yeah. So it's Rated R, Loud. Talk That Talk was 2012.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was 2011 because we was coming out there for New Year's when Talk That Talk dropped.
Yep.
It came out the same year that TM103 did, the same weekend. Cause we bought them 2 albums in Target. I remember that shit like it was yesterday. That was the theme of that weekend. Man,
people ungrateful, bro. Like, people so unfucking grateful. Bruh, she dropped, A Girl Like Me. Dropped that to Def Jam 2006. Next year, Good Girl Gone Bad 2007. She dropped Rated R 2009.
Oh, so Rated R was that early, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Loud was 2010, a year later. Talk That Talk was 2011, a year later. Unapologetic 2012, a year later.
That's the one I forgot.
And then she went 4 years, and then she gave us Anti.
That's the last one.
Bro,
damn,
like, he was getting a fucking album every year for like 5 years. And now that she done gone 6, like Adele.
She gave them an album a year until she started a business that looked like it was headed toward $1 billion evaluation. That's what she did.
It's a $1.7 billion valuation right now. And y'all mad because y'all not getting music.
Hold
Bitch,
up.
go buy some lingerie.
Look up. When was she stopped giving them an album a year, and what year?
2012.
And the next album came when?
2016.
Look up when Fenty was started. 4 years is the term that people go to college. It's such an incubation period. It's how long LeBron went to Miami. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. People spend 4 years doing a lot of shit in life. For her to take a 4-year break, I'd bet good money Fenty was started in 2012 or 2011 in that area.
Let's see. Fenty Beauty is a cosmetic brand that was launched September 8th, 2017. So she got it ready.
Damn, the year after. So she spent 4 years figuring it out, dropped the album, and used it to promote the brand. Boom.
Let's go. Let's go, Shawty.
To the moon.
She said, I'm going to drop this album.
Anti. And this going to hold y'all over. Your favorite album is the last one she gave you. She said, I'm going to give y'all a classic, and it's going to hold y'all over till I get back.
She ain't got to drop another one for me, bro. You didn't give. Look at the catalog you didn't give me, bro.
People spoil. I don't think people realize the expedience of that technology provided creators to create music led to the best artists in the world giving you way more music in their primes and in the most creative parts of their life than you'd ever gotten in the past. Because it took forever to make this shit.
Yeah. I'm happy. And that's the thing about me, bro. It's like I like before the show started tonight, I didn't know I was gonna get a freestyle from you. That shit made, but I enjoyed it. I didn't know I was getting new music. And so like I'm a fan, and like I guess I can live on, I understand like the artist side of it because that's how I identify and who I am. Like I am an artist. So if you like whenever you work, like Smino, my dog.
Smino the Grigio.
Anytime he drop, bro, I'm going to be there. I'm there. Like I'm consumed. Like since the first tape that it came into my consciousness, shout out to the homie Acacia. She put me on Black Swan, and then I looked at everything before that. So Black Jupiter, 666, and then everything that's come after, I've been on it, bro. And so,
like
having that
if
surprise.
I could describe Smino, I'd say hearing him for the first time was as exciting as hearing acid rap was. And he never had a letdown moment.
Right.
He never changed. He never switched up on. He
keep going up. He keep going up.
He keep getting better. He keep becoming more diverse. He getting more diverse life experiences and talking about that shit too, but still talking about maturation and shit.
Shout out to the
wonderful ride.
And I will go on fucking record right now. He is the best rapper he is the best artist in the history of St. Louis. And I don't give a fuck who want to disagree with me. He the best artist. And I know how you feel about Nelly Nell, Cornell Haynes, I know how you feel about it, but this is my personal preference, man. And like when you open up an album from Smino, bro,
it kind of nigga want to go to andale, mommy, yeah, they don't go to, man, this one here for Shondo and JD, and they don't go to that one. They don't go to Loving Me. They don't go to Rock the Mic Remix. They don't go to Old Nelly. You know what I'm saying? They don't go to Nellyville. He be rapping, cause they don't go to Midwest Swain.
Hey, you got to get off of Midwest Swain. That was my shit.
I'm saying they don't go to them. Can he be rapping,
boys,
bro?
They ride V12 horses, saddle up and put spurs on my Air Forces. Hey, them boys,
bruh, but fire. Yeah. Turn Air Force One to $1 billion shoe. That nigga icon.
It's definitely.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but if we gonna mention Nelly, I'm gonna just say a bunch of positive shit about Nelly. That's all. I'm saying. If you asking me who rap better, he rap better, but I'd say Nelly is like Rakim to his Jay-Z.
Yeah, it's something like when we talk about cities like that aren't. Because St. Louis is definitely like a major city. Like I don't want anybody from St. Louis to cut my head off with his next comment. But when we talk about like there's New York, there's Miami, there's LA. Like they're like really, really big hubs of music. So like I consider Atlanta like one of those hubs. Like New York, LA, Atlanta, Miami. I don't even know if I can. I think I gotta put Houston in that category as like one of those. Chicago, I gotta put them in that, obviously in that conversation.
Can I shout that out real quick?
Go ahead.
Country Grammar was the first drill song. I'm going down, down, baby. Your street in the Range Rover, street sweeper, baby. Cop ready to let it go. Shimmy, shimmy. When you get hit with it, Cocoa Puff is a cigarette that has been laced with cocaine. Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Puff. Listen to it. Light it up, then take a puff. Pass it to me now. Them niggas get hyped up all coke and run around, wet niggas up. That's what that song was about. If you listen to the bars, Nelly been rapping from day one. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, you can find
Country Grammar. If you understood the grammar, was the first drill song.
He is the person who shift. Kanye get a lot of the credit for shifting rap from being quote unquote violent. That was.
Hey,
Nelly was.
Can we clip that for social media? I feel like that might be a good hot take.
What's that?
Country Grammar is the first drill song.
Yeah, clip that. I mean, it's on my end. I got it too.
We need to pop that off and promote that.
Yeah,
that's gonna reach his radar at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he took, and it's funny as hell because somehow we talking about Nelly and Smino, and this was supposed to be about. This is the NFL segment.
Shouts out to Riri.
Hey, Eagles winning, bro. Double digits. I'm calling that shit. 2 scores. Excuse me, 2 scores.
The thing about it that kind of irked me is the Eagles didn't get good until, and like I'm gonna make a confession for the fan. I grew up a Eagles and a Falcons fan, and growing up like that, and a wildly convincing argument by Tyler Trill Withers made me say, fuck being a fan of any team, yay football. And it's been so much better. I'm like, why? Because I came out of a vagina in Atlanta, am I going to give Arthur Blank all of the money that I contribute to NFL games? I'm going to fly to another city and go watch a good team home game. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that. Fuck that. Like, it's fucking Falcons. And then the Eagles, I like y'all because McNabb, and y'all bitches, fuck y'all. Once y'all fired Andy Reid, fuck y'all. And then them bitches won a Super Bowl a couple of years after I stopped being a fan. So I still kind of like the Eagles because I grew up an Eagles fan, but I can't find myself rooting for them over Andy Reid because when I was an Eagles fan, it was Andy. It was
because
it was Donovan. It was Deuce Staley. It was Brian Westbrook. It was Shady McCoy. It was B. Dawkins. It was Jeremiah Trotter.
Yeah.
It was Javon Curse. You understand me? Like, they gone. So I'm with them wherever they is. And B. Dawg somewhere talking about football. So shouts out to him. Fox, wherever he at. And Andy Reid in Kansas City with Kermit the Frog. And I'm here. I'm here to say I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs. 38. 31. Boom.
Okay.
Patty throw a touchdown to end it.
My fandomship now follows the philosophy of two people who I fuck with heavily. The father of one of my closest dogs. Shout out to Big Roosevelt. And then my homeboy.
Is he the dog or the man? Because I barked at him. It don't matter. Move on.
The father.
We'll leave that for the audience to decide who listening to it. Is he the dog or is he the guy? Who did I bark at? Move forward.
And then the homie Zay, and they fans of people. They follow the people wherever the hell they go.
I be with the dogs. Shouts out to UGA.
That's where I be. Your boy is a Jalen Hurts fan.
I am too.
Everything about him for me is.
That's the thing.
Like I've been rocking with, like, when he came into, I'm always for obviously black Alabama quarterbacks, and he
Blama quarterbacks,
and he is, for me, I feel like I'm so glad his story is
that boy from Houston
how
too.
It's panning out. Yeah, and he from the H.
Stand
and
on
so,
that bit.
And then the way, like, he's 24, he's a second round pick.
He up for a contract. Patty already paid.
Bruh. And Lurie already said, we ain't got to talk about his extension. That ain't even something we got to talk about. Lurie already said this Super Bowl ain't gonna prove, like, he already proved himself.
I love it.
This Super Bowl, like, him winning or losing the Super Bowl ain't got nothing to do with what his contract gonna look like after this shit done. That's what his fucking owner said. That's what Laurie said. He's like, man, he ain't got nothing else to prove to us. Whether he's our franchise guy.
Hit him with the T.O.
Right.
That's my quarterback.
Yeah, that's my quarterback.
That's my quarterback.
He said, ain't nobody else finna come get this motherfucker from us. And so
that nigga carry himself like a mix between Wesley Snipes and Slim Thug or some shit. You know what I'm saying? He got like that 90s calm and like black man.
Yeah.
And a huge nigga presence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, that's what I mean by the mix of the two. He himself is shit, but he larger than life, but he himself is shit in a way that make him seem so regular and accessible. So he palatable to anybody who want to just be able to be they self and be strong and confident in being whatever it is that you is. Because no matter what has happened around him, he has always been exactly who he is right now.
Exactly who he is right the fuck.
After he won the national championship where he got benched for Tua, the interview sounded exactly like the same after he won the SEC championship after Tua got hurt.
Bro, it was an interview today. Speaking of that confidence.
Last thing. If people wondering how that man ended up at Oklahoma, it is because Nick Saban loved him so much, he looked that man in the face and said, where do you want to be? He told him, I think I could succeed over here. He said, I'm going to get you there. That's how he ended up at Oklahoma, for anybody wondering how the transfer portal went for Jalen Hurts and da-da-da.
Also, we're not giving that
put him with Lincoln Riley. What's up?
We ain't giving that motherfucker no credit, bro, because everybody trying to come out and not taking credit for Jalen Hurts and his demeanor, his work ethic, and the accolades that he has accumulated for himself. Even Nick Saban's, oh yeah, he went to Oklahoma, because I think apparently like there was a conversation in him wanting to go to Miami out of Alabama, and Nick Saban was like, yeah, we talked about going to he was like, I think Nick Saban or something like might have liked Lincoln Riley more as like an offensive coordinator or some shit, or as like a head coach.
He saw what he just did with Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, and he directed.
And he wanted him to do that for his quarterback.
And so, Nick Saban.
Show us some love now, man. I fuck with Nick. And I'm a UGA fan.
No,
he gave me my coach.
It's not that I don't.
He gave me my coach that just gave me back to back.
This is how I see that shit. I believe that these people were gonna be
say go dogs, and I shut up.
Nah. You can keep barking. That don't even bother me. Like that's your thing. You got it, man. Yeah, y'all the two-time defending champs over there in Georgia, man. I can't take that from y'all, man. Yeah,
the NCAA become a video game again. We gotta run that back and do another video.
Yeah. Y'all waxing us if we run that shit back. Them boys are stacked over there. But Jalen Hurts, man. Like he was a second round pick after being a Heisman finalist. He was benched in the national championship game. He stayed there, held down the quarterback that they chose over him that came in and won a national championship. The next year when that guy got hurt, he stepped up. He led them to an SEC championship. The following year, he went to Oklahoma, was a Heisman Trophy candidate. Did not win it. Second round pick, scooped up by a team that already had their franchise. I thought they had their franchise quarterback. Shipped that guy away. He had to play and prove himself here with this damn team with not the greatest team around him. Coaching change happens. The Super Bowl winning coach leaves. Another new guy comes in. He has stepped up in a fucking role in the guys who have been there, Fletcher Cox, Jason Kelsey, like these motherfuckers swear by this man. This man put an entire team of women around him. His lawyer is a woman, his head of marketing is a woman, his PR head is a woman. All of his team is women. He has built his empire, and like he will be the face of like they love Patty Mahomes. After Sunday, they are peers. And today I saw an interview because yesterday was the first day of interviews for the Super Bowl, and there was a journalist that hopped in there and asked and didn't even have a question, had a comment. He's like, Jalen, I just some from whatever the fuck platform. Just want to let you know, I was one of the guys who said that you could never, like the Philadelphia Eagles would never get to the Super Bowl with you at the helm. And Jalen responded, a lot of people said that. And the guy was like, I just want to say to you, man to man, that I was wrong. And Jalen, his response, cool, calm, collected. Cool. That's all he said was cool. Like, bro, you don't validate me. Like, you don't get to come here and say, I was wrong. Like, we know you're wrong, bitch. I'm sitting at the Super Bowl right now.
Most beautiful part of that is when you said that I couldn't do what I just did, you were not on my level. And coming here and you standing up and not having an actual question and saying man to man don't make you on my level. Don't make what you say matter to me.
Like, we not here.
You saying I'd never be here didn't prevent me from getting here. What do you think apologizing gonna do? Oh, that burden is lifted. Now let me go ahead and prove I'm right.
Right.
I ain't trying to prove you wrong. I ain't trying to prove you right. They asked that nigga about that shit that happened with Tua. He said that moment made me who I am. And for anybody questioning that man, I'll simply say this. He's the quarterback for 26 halves of football en route to that championship and led that team. Excuse me. 25. And Tua was a quarterback for one half. As the leader of that team, he did not win the championship in the 2 years he had that team. Right or wrong? Sophomore season, junior year, Tua did not win a championship.
No.
That is not a coincidence. He lost more games as a starter than Jalen Hurts did. And he had Jalen Waddle and what's my man's name?
Smitty.
Devontae Smith. He had a Heisman winner and a nigga that's running around with Tyreek and saving his career right now. For that man to have not won a championship, ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. What's his excuse? If you gonna bench Jalen Hurts and that's it, come on now.
We ought to talk about his availability like we do Kyrie's.
Nah, because I don't think nobody should get the Kyrie treatment unless it's KD. Because you watching that team, how you don't see him. That's all I'm saying. You're gonna talk about how unavailable Kyrie is. It would be nice if you could talk about how well Kevin Durant is playing in his absence, but you never can. You never can. And look at what KD doing without him. Smoking reefer somewhere in the borough of New York with a Scully covering a $500 million head. I say that. It don't matter what it look like.
No, it don't. It really don't.
Somewhere building 35 ENT or Productions or whatever that is. Shouts out to the production company and the boardroom. I'm shouting out everybody, bro. 2023, C.O.D, C.O.3D. Love all in your face. We coming right at you. Busting nut innuendos.
So my dog said he going with the Kansas City Chiefs 38, 30, 35, 30.
That's my prediction. 35. You just made me root for Philadelphia Eagles, though. I like how you just did like a 20-minute Jalen Hurts soliloquy. I say some crazy shit, and then you wrap it up so clean and smooth. But yeah, just to tie it back into what we actually talking about, I stick with my prediction 38-31 Chiefs over the Eagles. But I'll be rooting for the Eagles, man. I think I'm an Eagles fan this weekend. That mean they might lose, y'all. Because they lost every Super Bowl I wanted them to win. Just out of T.O.
They going to lose with that attitude. This is a man who said, if you believe it, you can achieve it.
I believe the Chiefs going to win. I'm rooting for the Eagles is how I'm going to watch the game. So they trying to...
That's fair.
It'll be like rooting for... When I say Kevin Durant shredder, I be thinking that nigga gonna beat the team I want to win. When that nigga went in there with fucking Russell Westbrook and James Harden, I thought they was finna fuck the heat up. I was like, oh shit, this might not be the one. Like that first shit, we lost to Dallas. I was like, shit, this ain't the one either. Cause they fucked Dallas up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that they had to beat them niggas to get to the Heat. So This was them beating the Pistons. If Kevin Durant will be Jordan one day in my mind, I'm like, this nigga gonna be Jordan instead of Bron, because Bron still ain't won a chip at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Both of them could have won their first chip in that one. And if the young nigga get it, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm like, he's shredder to LeBron Ninja Turtle looking there. You feel me? And he has always been a nigga I thought was gonna win that I'm rooting against hard. And he been so fucking good. He's always been there. So that's why I'm like, let's see what this bitch do without Kyrie. Cause fuck that nigga. I hope they can Foot Clan and him catch some feet. But he got to get to the chip to catch them feet. You feel me? So yeah, KD, man, get out there and kick some ass so I can root against you, do it. Love to hate your punk ass. He great, bro. I love watching that nigga hoop. I just root against him. I'm more honest than the LeBron haters. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm very clear in my rationality of this shit being a stupid ass game. And without the storylines, it's just throwing a leather circle through a metal circle. So I just choose villains and heroes. And that's how I root for this shit. It's just where I'm at. Y'all remember watching Dreamgirls? And y'all was like, they did Jennifer Hudson wrong. That's how I feel about Russell Westbrook. You could win a championship is right in front of you. It be your dream, girl. Man, Lakers, go get that chip. You know what I'm talking about?
That woman of talent, man.
I'm a screenshot that. I'm a social media that too. We get crazy.
Can I do you a favor?
Could you? Riri, give me a headline. Oh, could you tell me something good?
Yeah, I'm glad you saw that. Tee him up. You know, man. Things has been major, man. Life is good and shit. Back in December, I think it was December, I got the opportunity to shoot a performance for a friend who is a artist here in Houston. He put together a experimental R&B collective, and they had a show at this place called Match Theater in Houston, Texas. And your dog got to film it, spend the day like shooting people behind the scenes, following them like around and watching folks prepare for a show, watching the guys like in the sound engineer booth, watching the guys like put together the set design, and apparently I did a fairly decent job because just now, like, I got hit up to like, you want to hire me on to shoot this like music, this is like debut music video, and so me and the homie, can I say the name of your photography company?
Yeah.
Okay, I ain't know if I can say it out loud. So I own a photography, videography company called Flightbulb, and my dog and I, we share and exchange resources, and he owns a company called First Person Shooter. And so we really leaning into, this is the space where like we combine to, he is the music expert. I'm working on becoming the photography film expert, and then we meet in the middle and we share, like, we are exchanging those knowledge bases, and like it kind of meets here, and we are on like the broadcast, the media side of things, man. So it's really dope that your dog is like leaned into this photography thing and like visual storytelling and like watching movies, and not just, here come that word again, consuming them, but looking at them and breaking them things down. And because I got this from you, like, you are a real movie critique, and like you break down the themes, like the plot, and like you really look at you deconstruct it, and you look at the overall delivery, like from the music side, from the cinematography side, from the acting side. So like that's how I'm starting to look at it. It's not just somebody who's enjoying it from an entertainment perspective. Like, I've started to really dive into communities where that deconstruction is happening, and using my unique eye and my like vision to bring things to life. And so Buddy enjoyed what I was able to do with like his behind the scenes and like and things like that enough to where he want to bring me on to shoot like his debut music video. And so meeting up on Thursday to talk about like the vision and help him to craft like the vision board for that joint, man. And so give me some headlines, conversations on Wax, Code, RSS, Flightbulb, FPS, First Person Shooter, Ripple, like this ecosystem that we building and my dog is over there grinding and like things. I'm not even gonna make any announcements on that side yet. But as you've already heard in this show, like 15 minutes and you get a freestyle that ain't nobody else capable of creating in the industry right now. And so there's content, there's products, there's education, there's merchandise, there is value coming like from this platform in ways that I don't think that people have been able to experience media in the way that we plan on bringing it to y'all. And not y'all, you, because it's all about you. And we excited because the more I see that we lean into things, and like this is a philosophy, and my dog really is the catalyst for this. Is like the more you lean into shit, the more you believe things, and you step out on that faith. When you get that divine download and you move on them, you'll see the path kind of fall out in front of you where you didn't think you had the resources for something. Like it'll show up like out of nowhere if you just keep that faith and know that the gifts that you've been given to create, and that's what I really believe like we're here to do, is like whatever you believe, however you perceive it, like you're right. So if you believe you can do it, you will do that shit if you just keep taking steps towards it. And in putting myself out there, like throwing people DMs and shit, and like all of them don't come back, and if somebody don't hit me back, then I just move on to like the next person, move on to the next entity. And that same thing is happening, I'm sure, for my dog on his end, and it's happening on this end, and that shit gonna meet in the middle, and you are going to reap the benefits. So that was my long-winded way of saying shit is
I'm some good. That's the exclamation point to that.
Yeah.
I'm some good this week. Straight up. Make noise so they can see that. You see it. You see it. Straight up, boy. We the game, man. C.O.D. the C.O.W.boy, music and PHTIV. And please believe that we gonna give you what you want and give you what you need. And no matter how long of a hiatus, even as we start season 3, we believe that it is always better to give than it is to receive. Yeah!